Hi, I'm Teddy Burriss, your sales navigator, strategist, trainer, and coach. And I'm going to show you in this video what your newsfeed or your alerts are all about and how you can manage them. But before I do, hit that subscribe button because I create this content about LinkedIn and Sales Navigator all the time, and I'm creating it just for you. So when you go to your LinkedIn, your Sales Navigator homepage, linkedin.com, sales home, however you get here, this is what you see today. The interface has changed as of about a month or so ago. But what's really important to understand is, why does this stuff show up here? And what can you do with it? Well, number one, why does it show up there? So by default, what shows up here is all of the accounts that you have saved and any activity relevant to those accounts, and we'll talk about that in a minute, and any leads that you have saved and any activity relevant to those leads. So that's unlike LinkedIn, where what shows up in your LinkedIn news feed is all of the companies and all of the LinkedIn members that you're following and whatever content that LinkedIn feels would be relevant to you based on your activity on LinkedIn and you engaging with those companies and those LinkedIn members and or their accounts. But in Sales Navigator, you choose what shows up in your alerts based on, first and foremost, who you saved. It doesn't need to be all of your LinkedIn connections, just those that you have saved and the accounts that you've saved. Now let's look at this one step further, and that is, what kind of content is in here? Well, the kinds of content that is in here starts right here under your alert settings. I go to alert settings, and you can see in alert settings, these are the types of alerts that you want to see. And there are about 29 different types of alerts that could show up in your newsfeed depending upon your accounts, your leads, and also what kind of Sales Navigator account you have. Now, so what I recommend you do is look through these alerts about your saved leads and your saved accounts and make decisions as to what types of alerts you want to see. There may be some of these alerts that you don't need to see based on saved accounts or shared activity, which, by the way, shared activity is only relevant to those who are using Sales Navigator. I think it's Team or Enterprise. And I'll give you the help document on that as well, because that's worth having as well. And so you want to look through these alerts and make a decision what types of alerts you want in your Sales Navigator feed. Now back to the feed, there's a couple things that you need to understand as well, and that is regarding your execution on these alerts. Because, oh, by the way, an alert is of no value unless you execute on it in some meaningful way. Now, yes, we know we can click on the view article and we can view that, put it over here to see it. By the way, the view article works the same as clicking over here, brings up exactly the same alert. But did you know that you can bookmark an alert? And so if you don't have time to go back and engage with Gary or the Brooks group, bookmark it up here and you can come back to it. By the way, bookmarked alerts only stay bookmarked for 60 days. After 60 days, they get removed from your bookmarked alerts. Furthermore, once you've reviewed that alert and made a decision as to what you are going to do with it, whether you are or are not going to do anything with it, then you can hit the X and you can remove that alert because you've already executed on it. And so I really recommend, this is something I had not been doing well in the past, is to get rid of the alerts that you no longer want to see because you've executed on that alert in some way or another, or decided not to execute on it. Additionally, under the three dots, you have a couple of other features here. LinkedIn says that they believe, and I'm waiting for validation on this, they believe the X is the same thing as remove alert. Now I'm challenging. What's this not relevant mean? I haven't got an answer to that. I'm waiting for the answer. I'll update this video in the description once I get validation of what that is. Again, also under the three dots, you have unsave the lead, which basically takes the lead out of your from being saved. And if they're not saved, they will not show up in your newsfeed. And this right here, turn off this kind of alert. That goes back to this right here, so you can make a decision which type of alert you want to turn off. So if you were to click on, the three dots here and turn off this alert, it'll actually turn off shared a post. I won't see that for a lead. So what you want to do is be very purposeful about saving the leads you want to save. And then work this list as often as you can. View it and make a decision if you're going to execute on it in some way. Bookmark it so you can come back to it later. Once you've done what you want to do, you want to hit the X. And if you no longer want to see mentioned in the news anymore, you can turn off this kind of alert. So understand your news feed for these alerts. Understand what you can do with them. And again, execute on them as often as you can. Otherwise, why get the alert? I'm Teddy Burriss, your Sales Navigator strategist, trainer, and coach, and I hope this information is helpful for you.